Then Christian Workers Union called a press conference today to respond to comments made by the chairman of the Social Security Board, Doug Singh. This is in relation to the employees of the Social Security Board who are members of the union. Last night we reported that SSB workers walked out of their offices after being told that a meeting being held in Belmopan was not going in their favor. Both parties have several issues to finalize before beginning negotiations at a collective bargaining agreement. At today's press conference, President Audrey Matura Shepherd, flanked by the Chief and Deputy Chief Union representatives for SSB, Leonora Flores and Ella Waite, firmly expressed the CWU's position on the matter.
When we asked about the payment last week, we were told by the CEO in a letter to CWU that they're prepared to pay an ex gratia payment if members are willing to sign on to accepting the new uniform for a period of 24 months. That's adding 6 months on to what is the norm, and that's coming. We have not yet negotiated it because that 24 months is currently in the proposed CBA, the one we are currently negotiating. But they are seeking to take it out of the CBA, the proposal, and attach it to us getting this payment that is due and signing on to that. We have rejected that idea. Since then, we've been told by the chairman that that is off the table. There is no offer even of the ex gratia payment, which we had originally refused, and they're not willing to pay the allowance, the clothing allowance that became due for the period November last year to current date when we have received our uniform. And that is one of the primary reasons that brought us here today.
When we went to the previous negotiations, they said, let's take it to 18 months because the quality is a little better because it's from out of the country. We do not decide where the uniforms are made. The board does that. Okay, so they sent it out of the country, 18 months. But if the uniforms do not reach when that time is expired, we have to buy clothing because the organization requires we wear professional clothing. We have a reputation to uphold at Social Security. We are supposed to be customer service oriented. We need to look proper. So when the uniform is expired, the day after we are supposed to be compensated with a clothing allowance. Because the uniforms we had already done fitting and it was everything was sent out of the country to be done, we do not know, the company does not know when the uniforms would arrive. So they cannot pay you this clothing allowance of $450 the very next day when the previous one expires because they don't know when it will come. It might come before the year ends. So we did not demand or ask for that payment then. We agree we will wait until the uniforms come, as in the past, and then they would calculate how much months we were without uniform, and they would provide us an amount for prorated exactly for that amount. We agreed to that in good faith. That wording is not specifically in the CBA, but it's in our MOU that is signed behind it where it says, as per the CBA, the previous payment was made. And those 3 words, as per CBA. And that is where we have a case, and that is where the chairman of the board knows why he paid it the last time.
It is the board that decides who is the investor that gets money. It is the board that decides how certain transaction goes that benefits certain people within the board through their companies and so on. We will reveal a lot of these things. I'm throwing it out there to warn the chairman, careful what you say because you have skeletons in your closet. Don't attack the staff as though they are the final decision maker. The staff have kept quiet for a long time. The staff have signed confidentiality agreements and have kept things confidential. But come on, people, be smart. If you have a problem with how your social security scheme is being managed, it's not the staff that tells them, oh, put the millions of dollars where the politician tell you to put it. It is not even the staff who appoints those politically appointed people. The staff have to follow. They're the last one in the chain. This is just indicative of the total bad faith. These staff members are trying to be nice, but they're telling you in a nice way, this is the worst board they've ever had. And it's the worst management they've ever had, and it's the worst CEO they ever have. They can't say it so, but I can say it so. Okay? So that is what we call in Spanish, punto final, full stop.
And while the union members at the Social Security Board continue with their demands and plans for further protests,